Because I asked you if there's any animal deaths in it, and you're like, no.
Yeah, what happens is that global warming for planet Earth, I'm not against global warming. I don't want to get in that conversation.
No spoilers.
Yeah, no spoilers. The world is no spoilers. Don't spoil it for me. I want to know later. But with global warming, another side of the argument that you don't hear, you always hear about the polar bears. So like the ice caps are melting, the polar bears are swimming constantly, and then they can't find food, and they just get emaciated and swim so much they get fatigued and drown and die. But that's another thing to approach. But with walruses, what you don't know is they're kind of like Mojo. They can't see that well. They can't see that well unless they're underwater.
So they're like slipping and falling, thinking that's the edge?
So what they're doing is they're looking for icebergs, and they can't find them, as many of them that they used to. So they're overcrowding these beaches, and they keep trampling each other and just being on top of each other because there's no room on the land. So other walruses, since they're half blind, have been climbing, which you've seen a walrus, they look like a giant penis, and they don't have legs really, they have flippers.
Yeah.
And so they've been actually climbing up.
Was that thing we saw when we were in Vancouver at the zoo?
Yeah.
The one making all the noise?
Those big ones that were fighting with each other, those are sea lions, but these ones, walruses, are way bigger than those ones. And those ones are the size of bears. They're huge. So they climb up on the top of mountains, and then they don't know how to get down because they just got all the way up.
What the they climb up there for then?
Because they're trying to get away from the crowding of all the other walruses. So they want their own space. So then they just don't realize it, and they just jump off cliffs and fall to their death. And
are the cliffs that high?
Yeah, it's seriously.
Are they landing in the water or on other rocks?
On the shore or like right on rocks. And it seriously reminded me of the 9/11 documentary when the people are falling down buildings. But they're walruses, so they're like 5 times bigger than people.
Well, here's the second problem I have with those shows.
Yeah.
There's guys filming that. Mm-hmm. If that was me and you filming it.
That's not photojournalism.
Yeah, but in the back of your mind, you're thinking, I'll be right back. I come back with a big ass trampoline, put that at the bottom of the rocks.
Your trampoline would break.
How's it going to break?
It wouldn't bounce them.
Why not? You gotta get a good one.
They're way too heavy.
You gotta get a good one.
It's like as they're like 2 tons.
But imagine it when it's like, oh my God, he's getting close to the edge. Oh, here he comes. Right back up.
He's gonna fall to his death again.
No, he might go out in the water or something that time.
No. Can you imagine if you bring a trampoline out? You're like, I got an idea. And you put it there like a regular trampoline, and it fucking falls and breaks the trampoline, and it just dies anyway.
Yeah, that was suck.
Wow, good job, David.
Here we are in the Arctic,
Your
and
joke,
you brought a shitty trampoline.
It didn't work out. Holy shit, that'd be great.
Well, it's the same thing when you see like, oh, the penguins are trapped inside this little ice cavern. I guess we'll just film them as they're dying. When the guy could have been like, here, little fella.
That's not photojournalism.
What the is photojournalism?
I went to school on photography, David.
To watch people die?
I had to learn about photojournalism in college.
So if I saw somebody getting their ass kicked in a park, getting mugged,
yeah,
and they're like, help, and I'm like, photojournalism, and I just film it?
Yeah. That's what reporting the news is. When you affect the situation and you manipulate something, that's no longer photojournalism.
That's going to be my new thing whenever you're like, help me with this. I'm just going to bring out my phone and start filming and be like, photojournalism.
Well,
you don't get any help.
The correct terminology for you taking your phone out and filming is world star bitch. That's what you have to say. Which equals the millennial terminology for photojournalism.